The audio kept rolling, capturing nervous laughter from someone off-screen as the interviewer scrambled to move on to the next question, but the moment had already been recorded, clipped, screenshotted, and shared. Within minutes, the clip spread everywhere, Twitter exploded, Instagram erupted, and TikTok went into overdrive. Alex, Eala, and Tommy Paul were suddenly at the center of the conversation. Had Coco just exposed them? What moment was she talking about? Were they dating? Was it romantic, a secret relationship accidentally revealed, or something else entirely, something innocent twisted by speculation and assumptions? Tommy Paul, for his part, remained completely silent and did not attend his scheduled media appearance. His team later released a brief statement saying he was unavailable for comment, and that silence only fueled the fire. If it was nothing, why wasn't he denying it? If it was innocent, why all the secrecy? That same night, Coco posted a cryptic Instagram story, just 3 words. No explanation, no apology, no clarification, only those words paired with a photo of her staring off into the distance. The tennis world descended into chaos, and the explosion was only just beginning. The internet doesn't forget, and it certainly doesn't forgive. If you weren't on social media that night, you missed a war, not a polite disagreement or a casual debate, but an all-out, no-holds-barred internet battle that split the tennis community in two. Within an hour of Coco's interview going viral, the hashtag Paulgate was trending worldwide, far beyond tennis circles. Fans, journalists, casual observers, and even people who had never watched a tennis match weighed in, each armed with an opinion and a theory. Alex Eala's Filipino fans were especially furious, flooding Coco's comments with accusations of betrayal, jealousy, and disrespect. One comment with over 15,000 likes read, "You call yourself a friend and then expose her like that." Another accused Coco of throwing Alex under the bus on live TV, while others dissected every interaction between the two over the past year, analyzing body language for signs of hidden tension. A narrative quickly took hold that Coco was jealous of Alex's rising star and intentionally sabotaged her, but Coco's fans pushed back just as fiercely, insisting she exposed nothing and that Alex's reaction signaled guilt. Tweets questioned why Alex panicked or avoided the press, while others accused her of playing the victim for attention. The attacks grew increasingly personal, brutal, and relentless. Then there was Tommy Paul's fan base, quieter, but just as invested and deeply divided. Some rushed to defend him, arguing that he had every right to privacy and that whatever happened backstage was no one else's business, while others felt disappointed, believing their favorite player was now entangled in drama that distracted from his tennis. A few fans even began shipping Alex and Tommy, creating fan art and editing videos of them together at tournaments, romanticizing a relationship that might not have existed at all. The media poured gasoline on the fire, with sports outlets publishing think pieces bearing headlines like "Did Coco Gauff cross the line?" and "Alex Eala's privacy violated. Who's to blame?" Tennis podcasts devoted entire episodes to dissecting the incident frame by frame. Body language experts analyzed Alex's press conference reactions, and relationship counselors weighed in on trust, boundaries, and friendships. It was pure madness, as fan pages launched leak campaigns, digging up old photos of Alex and Tommy at the same tournaments, sitting near each other at player events, and presenting them as evidence of something more. The speculation escalated as parties and warm-up sessions where Alex and Tommy had been spotted talking were pulled apart online, with every interaction, no matter how innocent, reframed as proof of a secret romance. One viral TikTok even claimed they had been hiding the relationship for months, pairing dramatic music with a montage of clips that racked up 3 million views in just 12 hours. Beneath the chaos of memes, outrage, and endless theories, however, ran a darker current. People were choosing sides not based on facts, but on loyalty. Nationality became a dividing line, Filipinos versus Americans, and race lingered as an unspoken subtext everyone sensed but few acknowledged. At the heart of it all was a question no one asked aloud: why do we feel entitled to know everything about these players' private lives? The explosion was never just about tennis. It was about celebrity, privacy, and the impossible standards placed on young athletes still figuring out who they are. Worse still, none of the 3 players had explained what actually happened. 48 hours after the incident, the silence was deafening, and in an era where athletes live on social media, that radio silence felt unnatural, tense, loaded, and ominous, like the calm before a larger storm. Coco Gauff's team moved first, releasing a carefully worded statement through her official Instagram account that emphasized a respect for friendships, denied any intent to cause harm, and asked fans to respect everyone's privacy while misunderstandings were resolved privately. The message was professional and diplomatic, but it answered nothing. If anything, it raised more questions. Why not name Alex and Tommy directly, and what exactly were the misunderstandings she was acknowledging? Most frustratingly, there was still no explanation of what she had meant during the interview, leaving the statement feeling more like damage control than accountability. Alex Eala's response came 6 hours later and was even more cryptic: a photo of herself practicing alone on an empty court at sunset, offering silence where the internet demanded answers. Alex's caption read, "Focus on what you can control," offering no tags, no mention of Coco or Tommy, and no acknowledgement of the chaos surrounding her name. Yet the comments erupted into a battlefield of support and invasive demands, prompting her team to issue a statement to Filipino media emphasizing her focus on tennis, her right to privacy, and the need to respect her boundaries as a young woman, while Tommy Paul remained completely silent. No statements, no posts, no interviews, fueling speculation that his continued absence might be a deliberate attempt to avoid the growing media storm. Some believed Tommy's silence was strategic, allowing the story to fade without adding fuel, while others saw it as cowardly hiding as two women absorbed the public backlash of a situation he was part of. Behind the scenes, anonymous sources began leaking conflicting accounts. One claimed Coco had called Alex to apologize only to be hung up on, another insisted Alex and Tommy had been casually dating and wanted privacy, while a third dismissed everything as harmless, a simple pep talk misinterpreted and blown out of proportion. Each rumor contradicted the last, multiplying in the absence of any official confirmation and forcing the public to choose whichever version fit their bias. Sponsors watched nervously as the controversy grew, with Alex's Filipino brand partners concerned about her image, Coco's multinational sponsors frustrated by the lack of clarity, and Tommy's team fielding questions about potential fallout for his partnerships. The WTA stayed silent, framing it as a personal rather than professional issue, but the optics were undeniable. Three of the tour's rising stars were now entangled in a narrative spiraling far beyond tennis. The three players found themselves embroiled in a scandal that had nothing to do with tennis and everything to do with the invasive nature of modern fame, and just as the story seemed ready to fade, a leaked backstage photo time-stamped an hour before Coco's infamous interview reignited everything, showing Alex and Tommy sitting close, laughing, his hand resting innocently on her shoulder, which the internet instantly treated as proof. The image went viral within minutes, and the fire roared back to life, with few people interested in the truth and most hungry only for drama. 10 days after the incident, that truth finally surfaced, not through a press conference or official statement, but in a long-form interview Alex Eala gave to a respected Filipino sports journalist she had known since her junior days and deeply trusted. In the interview, Alex calmly dismantled the rumors, explaining that she and Tommy were simply good friends who had known each other for years through the junior circuit and reconnected on the main tour. Before her finals match, she admitted, she had been overwhelmed and spiraling under the pressure of one of the biggest moments of her career, and Tommy found her backstage, recognized her anxiety, and sat with her to talk her through it, reminding her of her preparation, her worth, and why she deserved to be there. That, she said, was the moment Coco had referenced, nothing more, and as she paused, the exhaustion was visible in her eyes, the weight of carrying a private moment that the world had demanded she explain. Alex explained that she later shared the moment with Coco because she was her friend and she was grateful, never imagining it would be mentioned publicly or spiral into what it became. When the interviewer asked the question everyone wanted answered, whether she and Tommy were dating, Alex let out a sad laugh and said no, adding that even if they were, she didn't understand why it would be anyone else's business, but to be clear, they had always just been friends. When asked about Coco, her expression softened as she admitted she had been hurt, acknowledging how painful it was to hear something personal shared with a friend broadcast to millions, while also insisting she knew Coco hadn't meant any harm, had spoken without thinking in the moment, and that unlike most people, their mistakes happened on camera. She confirmed that she and Coco had spoken privately and were working toward understanding. Alex said they were working through it, acknowledging that friendships require effort and forgiveness, and that they were figuring things out. 2 days later, Tommy Paul finally broke his silence with a simple Instagram post, a photo of him and Alex at a relaxed practice session, smiling, captioned, "Real ones know what real friendship looks like. Grateful for the people who have my back on and off the court. Now, let's get back to tennis." It was short, direct, and drama-free, a quiet show of solidarity. Coco responded in her own way, posting a raw, unpolished TikTok video speaking directly to the camera, admitting she had messed up, shared something that wasn't hers to share, and hurt someone she cared about, publicly apologizing to Alex and acknowledging that not everything true needs to be said, especially on live TV. As the sincerity of her message landed, the narrative slowly began to shift, and people started to see that there had been no secret romance, no betrayal, And no conspiracy, just a private moment between friends that had been twisted, exaggerated, and weaponized by an audience hungry for drama. Yet even with the truth out, some refused to let go, having invested too deeply in their theories, outrage, and chosen sides to admit they had been wrong. Admitting they were wrong would have meant acknowledging that they'd participated in tearing down 3 young athletes for no reason, but the truth was simple, and simple doesn't get clicks or trend, which is the real problem. Months have passed since that chaotic week, and while the tennis world has moved on to the next controversy, headline, or scandal, the impact of those 10 days still lingers for Alex, Coco, and Tommy in ways the public will never fully see. Alex Eala's career didn't suffer. If anything, her honesty, refusal to play the victim, and clear boundary setting earned her respect, growing her fanbase and elevating her profile, particularly in the Philippines. While those close to her note she is now more guarded, careful about what she shares and with whom, and carries a weariness born from realizing that privacy is a luxury she must fight for. Coco Gauff, who faced the harshest public criticism, responded with maturity beyond her years, using the experience as a teaching moment to speak about the responsibility that comes with influence and platform. "I have millions of followers," Coco said in one interview, "and with that comes a responsibility to think before I speak, to protect the people I care about. I learned that the hard way." Her fans respected her for owning the mistake, and while her friendship with Alex has reportedly healed, it is now more cautious, carrying a scar that may never fully fade, though they have chosen to move forward. Tommy Paul returned to tennis quietly, letting his results speak for him, finishing the season strongly with a quarterfinal at a Masters 1000 event and earning praise for his composure under pressure. When asked about the incident, he deflects politely but firmly, emphasizing that it's in the past and that he is focused on tennis, maintaining his privacy carefully, while his friendship with Alex remains intact. Often visible in warm-up sessions at tournaments, a reminder that real relationships can endure public storms. Yet the broader lesson lies in what the incident revealed about us. The culture of celebrity, sports, and social media, how quickly we accept narratives without facts, how we turn athletes into characters for our stories while ignoring their humanity, and how nationality, loyalty, and tribalism can escalate a simple misunderstanding into a battlefield, highlighting the impossible position young athletes occupy, expected to be authentic and relatable, yet constantly scrutinized for every personal moment. The incident revealed how young athletes are punished for being human, how authenticity can become a liability, and sparked urgent conversations about boundaries, whether fame obligates transparency, where the line lies between public interest and invasive curiosity, and who gets to decide. Behind the scenes, players have become more guarded, media training has intensified, PR teams are more involved, and spontaneity that once made athletes relatable is now often replaced by caution and calculation, leaving friendships more surface level, private moments unspoken, and genuine connections sacrificed so strangers online can be entertained. Gossip sites can earn clicks, and we can all pick sides in a conflict that never truly existed. Alex, Coco, and Tommy survived, growing stronger, wiser, and more careful. But the larger lesson is about us, a culture where every moment is content, every relationship scrutinized, and athletes are expected to be perfect in ways we'd never demand of ourselves. In the end, a friend helped a friend, a comment was made without thinking, the internet dramatized it, and the real question remains, was any of this drama necessary?